In this video, we're going to show a whole bunch of cool things all at once. We're going to show busing and how you can assign buses to FireWire to record your mixes. We're going to show plugins. We're going to show analog summing using character. We're also going to show ConsoleConnect. Let's go ahead and launch Logic here and look at ConsoleConnect first. Now, ConsoleConnect was a plugin that was written for version 4 of the Mio console, and what it did is allowed you to access the Mio console from within your favorite host DAW. In this case, we're going to use Logic. So when Logic launched here, we got our full window showing our full Mio console here. And the neat thing about ConsoleConnect is that once it's actually been instantiated into a track, we actually use an instrument track with nothing else on it, no instruments, just a kind of a dummy track. When you save any changes, and that could be fader motions, panning, inserting of plugins, character, any kind of routing you do, anything you do, the minute you press save in Logic and quit, it remembers that and instantly recalls them, including preamp gain. I mean, everything is saved in the program here. So that's one element of version 5. The second is that you're probably going to be asking, well, why would you use the metric halo mixer when Logic very clearly has, its own mixer pane here on the window? Why would you not just use that? Well, there's a good reason for that. A couple of things. First of all the plugins that you're seeing here, the 16 or 17 different Mio strips that we have launched here, we've got a reverb bus, we've got a limiter, we've got all these different things happening, compression, EQ, limiting, and reverb. These are all happening in zero latency, kind of on the metal, which is inside of the metric halo box. So your computer doesn't need any CPU resources to have this happen. It's all happening within the FireWire box. Secondly, it's an 80-bit mixer, so when it's playing back, you'll be able to pull out of like 30 dBs of clipping without any problem. You're going to have tons and tons of headroom. And the most important part, and this is again another new addition of version 5, is the fact we have character. So we're thinking of this as kind of an analog summing box. We've modeled different preamps, and we're actually sending your signal through this different characters. So each channel here has its own character setting, including the bus. We have lots of really cool summing sounds, analog, lots of metal in the chain, tube overdrive, just, all the different saturation that we talk about when we talk about good distortion is happening in the console that you can't get in other systems. Now, one of the cool things about the buses and the fact that we can route things to FireWire is, let's say we're doing this cool mixing here. We've got all the different bus assignments going. We have the metric halo strips, the MLO strips. We've got halo verb in there. I want to get this back to Logic. How do I do that? Well, we have these direct out strips here where you can go ahead and send any signal out of the console and back into the DAW. And we did it through the FireWire sends. Now, at the bottom of my chain here on the last bus here, I can go ahead and direct out and send to FireWire 1 and 2. And inside of Logic, let's take a look here. I've gone ahead and added a channel. Let me hide the ConsoleConnect. And I have this thing assigned to input 1 and 2. And when I record enable that input, when I go ahead and press play on the ConsoleConnect here, let's go ahead and bring it back and press play. All of my levels and sounds are actually coming back through the console, including the reverb, the limiting, and all the strips are being returned to Logic. So all I have to do at this point is press record. But I can do something cooler here, actually. Whenever you assign to FireWire, it automatically assigns to the Mio console in the record panel. So now that I have these tracks record enabled, showing up here on the console, let's go ahead and record enable. And then press play here. So that means that anything that I'm doing within the Mio console routing window here, any plugins I do, any kind of mixing, effects, send and return to external processing gear, I can just bounce that bus to either an audio file within the Mio console or by simply recording, enabling, and adding just a simple stereo channel strip, setting its input to 1 and 2, which is the FireWire 1 and 2, and pressing record. That can be bounced right back into Logic. So it really just depends on what you'd like to see. So that's kind of the beauty of ConsoleConnect. Save all your settings in one easy-to-use interface window. How easy it is to send your bus to any different FireWire return to be recorded inside your DAW of choice or in the Mio console. And also some of the cool thing about the plugins. Again, zero latency, all happening in real time without any CPU overload.